Hello, and welcome to another episode of Director's Talk. Now, this episode is pretty special and near and dear to my heart because it's the first time I took a request for Director's Talk. And easily, over the past couple years, it's been my favorite subject matter to discuss on my channel. That and true stories. But movie reviews, everybody does them. No one's really original except for a few people I know. Q Reviews, I gotta throw your name out there. You gotta be the most original guy on YouTube doing movie reviews. You are the best. Everybody else is kind of like in a vacuum. Everybody's doing the same thing. And once you've seen one review, you kind of seen them all. So I'm tapering off from doing a lot of movie reviews. It's got to be a special movie or something totally original that I don't mind talking about. But Director's Talk, yeah, I can talk endless about this subject matter. And a dear friend of mine who lives in Canada, we met on social media right around when I did Sarah. She's a big fan of movies, a big fan of horror movies. She loves all the behind the scenes things. And so we got pretty fond of each other talking about film the last few years, right? Michael Land, man, we're close in age. We always send each other funny things back and forth about the 80s growing up and great music from the 80s, hairstyles. She's a cool person to know. And she's the one that suggested, hey, I absolutely love your Director's Talk. I have a suggestion. Why don't you do one about the suspension of disbelief in movies, how it can make or break a film? I'm like, wow, that's a fantastic subject. And I screenshot what she sent me and sent it to my buddy, my main man, Cyrus. He goes, yo, that's dope. And come to find out, he said, look, Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez first come to mind when it comes to suspension of disbelief. And it got me thinking, yeah. One of my favorite movies that I've ever witnessed from Robert Rodriguez is Desperado, starring Antonio Banderas. That movie blew my mind. I seen it at open weekend in theaters. I've been a fan ever since, man. His style is very unique, but yeah. That movie is crazy. There's nothing in that movie that makes sense. The way he was shooting people and moving around and jumping all over the place. Guitar taste opens up. You got a gun in there. His buddy's got bazookas. And, it's a lot of fun. Did it make or break the movie? I think it made the movie. I love a good tale of revenge. And that's exactly what Desperado was. Very sleek, very sexy. Took place in the dirty part of Mexico. I mean, I just love the texture of that film. Very bloody, very gory. And yeah, Selma Hayek, that was her debut. And I was like, wow, who is that? Beautiful. And their chemistry on screen was absolutely undeniable. I love that film. Now, when it comes to Quentin Tarantino, again, I love a good revenge tale. I think of Kill Bill. And it has some things in that movie that was definitely beyond the imagination when she finally got to her destination and she was killing all those people on the floor. And sometimes they just switched to black and white, switched back to color, all the blood, it looked like water. But it was absolutely asinine and just ridiculous, which made it absolutely fantastic. That couldn't happen. There's no way. But you know what? The suspension of disbelief works in Kill Bill. From the time where she's in a hospital, talking herself and willing herself to walk again, to move her limbs and muscles, the things she did while she couldn't move and walk and still was taking out people. I love that movie. The fight scenes are incredible. The anime is incredible. The supporting cast, oh my God. That movie is just up there with the best when it comes to a revenge tale. And there's some things that are absolutely crazy, You got women walking across the table, chopping off people's heads to get their respect because she's a female. Man, I love stuff like that, you know. And again, the fight scenes were through the roof. The one girl with the chain and the ball with the spike. Woof, woof, woof. Woo! I love that scene. That mug is incredible. Now, let's switch gears to the Fast and Furious franchise. When it first started, the first couple of movies was doable. Okay, it's a franchise about undercover cops, blending in with the crowd, trying to, you know, break down what's going on in the world of street racing. Then part 3 came out, then part 4, then part 5. Then it got crazy. I was on board probably up until 5 and 6, then it lost me. You got killers becoming part of the family. You got people who can't die and come back, and I'm like, what? And the stunts are so stupid now, they're done with CGI. And when you're a car enthusiast, and when you're a muscle car enthusiast like me, seeing a muscle car being used in CGI is just disrespectful. To the point where, you know, these fools went to outer space in a car. So this franchise has totally, in my opinion, fallen off. The suspension of disbelief absolutely destroyed this franchise. It just got stupid. Again, I love it because you have people of color in the forefront that's made this franchise popular. But damn, did you have to go buck wild? You went Warner Brothers. I mean, you went, when I say Warner Brothers, I'm like the cartoon Warner Brothers. Bugs Bunny and just silly antics. And Dominic Toretto, what can't he do? Drive up mountains, drive down mountains, drive on. Yeah, man. That franchise is doomed. And they spent way too much money. They spent, I think it's like one of the most expensive movies ever shot and made, and didn't even come close to reaching its budget. It lost money up the ass. That last one, was it part 10? It was stupid. You got Jason Momoa in. I mean, they get all these extra wrestlers to be the villains and the good guys and the cops, and behind the scenes is messy. You got directors quitting. Even though it's just, the franchise, it just fell apart. To me, it stops at 5. After 5, I just don't care. You know, now I guess Gal Gadot's coming back. She's driving subs. Yeah, that franchise. And then John Wick is another franchise that I absolutely love, but each installment is getting sillier and sillier, but for all the best reasons. Don't get me wrong. But that 4th one, falling down them stairs, jumping out of windows and landing on cars. You know, Keanu Reeves is tall, but he's not a big man. You know, he probably weighs like $170 or something, maybe a little less than that. Nah. I love John Wick, but that last one, the suspension of disbelief, I walked out of that movie rolling my eyes, praising it at the same time, but I was like, dude, you know how many bones and limbs? Yeah, that last one kind of broke me a little bit. So that franchise starting to get a little bit cartoonish. And all of them are like that. Rambo went the same way. The first one was fantastic. Then Rambo just got stupid. Ain't nothing he can do. Just dumb. Just stupid. But you know what? It is what it is. It makes for great cinema and makes for bad cinema, but it makes for great conversation and a topic of discussion. And Michael Lamb, please, thank you so much for bringing this subject matter to my attention and talking about. This episode is dedicated to you, homegirl. Peace and love, and you know the routine. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends, and more importantly, leave your comments down low. And I'm out. Peace. Fade to black.